Hello lovely people, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel, and I'm going to be doing an angel card reading video for you for Monday, April the 1st to the 7th, 2019. I say 2017 for a minute there. There's a throwback. So the first card for Monday is pause. So who is living their life at full steam ahead? Everybody. So sometimes we glorify the busyness in our society and we forget that rest is just as valuable, if not more so. We've had cards around balance lately, and this is sort of emphasizing that please don't undervalue how much rest can give you, because it actually gives you more. You might think it's a waste of time, but it's giving you more energy to achieve those important tasks later on. I was about to do the important tasks because sometimes the things that we're locked up in actually don't matter. I don't know that that's necessarily true for what's on your to-do list, but I do know that often we are so busy we place our value in being productive and how much we achieve, when in actual fact our value is already intrinsic. We already have value as children of the universe, and we don't need to prove that or earn that in any way. But of course we do want to make the most of the time that we've got given. Time is the most valuable commodity you've got, because it can't be replaced. Once it's gone, it's gone. And so if you are spending it in tasks that are not bringing value to you or detracting from your ability to prove or to enrich your value, which is something that happens through rest, you might have some questions to ask yourself about the way you're investing in your time here on this wonderful planet Earth. Oh, balance, work, rest and play. So this is Tuesday's card. Pretty much everything I just said about rest comes to the fore once more, and also the value of play, which again is something we really don't value as much as we should. We forget that we are here to have a human experience, and that includes having fun and enjoyment, and that's part of how we learn, it's part of how we engage, it's part of how we be present, it's part of how we honor this fantastic experience called life, which obviously is not without its issues, but we need to remember to have fun, because nobody at the end of their life is wishing they had spent more time in the boardroom, but so many people are wishing they hadn't enjoyed their lives more. It is a finite resource, so this is really asking you to balance out where your time is going. If it's going too much into the work category, to pull that back. Yeah, I know that's not... I know that that's sometimes a bit of a luxury for people. It's sort of a privileged thing to talk about resting more. If you are, in extreme poverty, then you probably don't have much choice but to work a lot. But there are certainly opportunities for you to be enjoying your life more. And I don't want to talk to people in that position, because I know it's extremely hard, and I know I'm oversimplifying here. But perhaps if you can just hold space to look at how you're investing your time, that might help. No easy answers on that one. Innocence here. This is about blame and judgment and shame, that unholy trinity. So it could be that it's asking you to stop judging other people, or to put all the blame for what's going on onto other people. And I always need to add this sort of caveat when I say that it doesn't mean that you're letting people off scot-free, or that you are endorsing their bad behavior. It's just asking you to try and understand that everybody is doing the best they can. In terms of shame, I feel that's more about yourself. The way you're shaming yourself for things you were doing or you haven't done, instead of sort of having compassion for yourself. Compassion is sort of the antidote for these ugly kind of words. What else? Judgment, guilt as well. Guilt's another one. I mean, it's all tied into what I've just talked about. So really get off your own back and have some forgiveness for the people and for yourself as well. That how do I put this? For the situations that are causing you distress, or perhaps situations in the past that are still causing you distress because of you wanting to apportion blame, you're wanting to sometimes we hold on to guilt or regret because we think that makes up for what happened. It sort of absolves some of the I'm really not good with words right now. In my defense, this is recorded during Mercury retrograde. I think sometimes we hold on to regret and guilt because we think that that makes it okay. If we've done something that has caused other people pain, or we've done something that wasn't right, if we continue to beat ourselves up about it, that kind of makes up for it, because obviously we can't go back in time. And that kind of thinking is kind of understandable, but really doesn't help. So the best gift you can ever give yourself is compassion and setting yourself free. Now, Thursday, I was guided to use a card deck I don't use very often. I just spat, that wasn't very polite. It's called Gateway Oracle Cards by Denise Lynn, and it's a really great card deck for anyone who's really working at that higher level on the spiritual path. But even if that's not you, something brought you here, so you're no doubt going to get something from this. Now, it's about embracing the future, and given what we've just been talking about in terms of setting ourselves free from the past, I think it's kind of appropriate because the person on this card is walking through a doorway, and it says, I step into the future with an open heart. And if you think about the ways the past kind of keeps us hostage, again, guilt, shame, those sort of things come up as well. So, and they really stop us from moving forward. So this is asking you to step forward, whatever that means for you, whether it means, like I said, letting go of those sort of things, those attachments, those negative attachments to the past, or whether it means letting go of any attachments you have to the present that you don't want to let go of, perhaps the situations in your life that are no longer working and you're really sort of struggling to let go of them. This is asking you to know there is a new chapter starting for you, and to really embrace that, instead of, it's okay to have some trepidation, but to trust that it's right for you as you move forward. Beautiful card. I love that message. Friday. Twin Flame. I personally struggle with this card because the words twin flame aren't widely understood for a start. That's a term that some people in the spiritual community use in terms of to replace soulmate, as we use it culturally, basically. The person who you are destined, difficult word there. The person who you have past life connection with, that has come into your life or will come into your life for some romantic attachment, some unfinished business, some lessons to be learned. I feel like the word twin flame kind of implies that it has to be like a Noah's Ark situation where everybody's in pairs. The reality is that soulmates, you have a lot of them, and they're not all romantic, but they are divinely guided partnerships or relationships, connections that have come through because there's something that needs to be resolved. There's some way that the two of you, some sort of connection you have that needs to be worked on, developed. In some ways you're going to teach each other lessons or something like that. However, this card does focus primarily on the romantic side of things. So when I talk about soulmates in regards to this, I am talking about the romantic kind. But I feel like I needed to explain that to people. So maybe when I do post this card, I will go into detail more about the soulmate kind of thing. Because in a way, everybody you've had a relationship with, oh, sorry, I'm stretching out my legs again, has come into your life for a reason. And you're in charge. You might not have brought them into your life, but you certainly determine how that develops. If it's someone who has not treated you right, that is to teach you a lesson, and your refusal to learn that lesson until later down the track, or your refusal to do anything about it to set yourself free, that was your choice. Again, that word destiny is a little bit problematic because as a culture we have this idea that there is our one true love that we will meet and then everything will be okay. And I just find it difficult to believe that there's just one person like that. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I do think we've got a lot of baggage that we've put onto that term, which isn't helpful. So if you are seeking a soulmate relationship, this card is asking you to keep the faith and to keep sending out your desire for that. But it also asks you to remember that if it is a soulmate relationship, then you can't be settling for someone else. You can't be going on a series of dates with people that you already know are not right for you, but you are saying, oh, but I might be wrong. Maybe just give them another chance. I've done this, and it didn't go well. So you really try to, I really hate this idea that someone's being too fussy if they haven't met their partner yet. You need to be fussy because someone you're going to have a long-term relationship with, you bet that you're going to need high standards for that. You can't be taking just anyone. And your soulmate, you're not going to be compromising with your soulmate. I mean, that's someone who's you, and you will know. You'll know it's them. And so whenever someone asks me for a reading and says, "Is this my soulmate?" It's no, because you wouldn't be asking if it was. You would know. I'm sorry, that seems so inadequate, but when you know, you know. It's really really unhelpful though, if you haven't quite got to that point yet. So, but it's just not something that can be quantified. So, if you are in a relationship with your soulmate, this could be asking you again. I mentioned earlier about coming back to that. No, sorry, that was the previous reading. Scratch that. I didn't mention this earlier at all. So this is just about honouring your commitment to your soulmate. And if you have been taking them for granted, if you haven't been investing enough time together, if you're listening to them with like only one ear and the other sort of ear is listening to the TV or whatever it is, really come back to what you've committed to, because that needs constant work and it needs you to reinvest your energy. Again, how we invest energy is kind of a theme here. Now, what other grounds do I need to cover with this? Yeah, I think I've covered it. I always, whenever there's some sort of relationship question, I feel like I always need to cover off people who, at various stages of dating or relationship, I guess. Oh, that's the wrong card. Card deck, I'm not doing that. So we'll go with this one for Saturday, the 6th of April. Write about your thoughts and feelings. So this kind of makes some people roll their eyes, I suspect, because it's like being a teenager. Dear diary. But that's not really the aim here. It's not about recording every single thing that happened. It's about recording how you feel. A lot of the reasons that we struggle in any sort of tension or any sort of indecision or anything like that is we feel like we haven't been heard or listened to. And your angels will always listen to you, and sometimes writing to them, if you want to address it to them, or just writing things down is a good way to get things out of your head so you can have clarity and you can feel like someone sort of heard you, even though it was only technically you and your own eyes. Obviously your angels as well. It will really help you. And as I say, it does give you clarity. There is research backing this up. It helps with emotional resilience in the long term. And it just helps you take charge of the situation, because often in emotions we feel like we're being tossed around like we're in a boat in heavy seas. So yeah, writing about how you feel. Is there anything else I need to tell you about that? Yeah, as I say, it's not recording every single event that happens. It's just how you feel, the thoughts that you have. It's trying to extract some of this chatter, this constant noise, and getting it out so that your mind is free to concentrate on other things like being present in your day. So Sunday, last card of the week. Oh, it's a beauty. These two. Why do you do this to me? So nature, perfect day for going exploring nature. Hopefully in the US your weather is starting to warm up a little bit. You can get out there. This doesn't have to be climbing a mountain. It can be just walking around your local park. It can even be in your own garden. In fact, I'm getting a lot of energy coming through around the word gardening, so some of you would really benefit from doing some gardening right now. There's also this card, friendship, which I don't really know how to marry these two up. But we do have some cards around relationships, so perhaps this is just asking you to invest some energy in your favourite humans, the ones that you are not related to, the ones that you're not in romantic relationships with, but who mean a great deal to you, your friends. So just sort of cementing those bonds, and remembering if you are struggling with the feels, maybe your friends are a good kind of channel for you to get that out. So, as I said, the way you invest your energy is a theme for this week, and we also have themes around balancing up our time, and I think freeing ourselves from the past is a theme around the innocence and that embracing the future card. So that's it for the week. Thanks for watching. This will go up on my social media as it does each and every day. My Instagram is @OneGroundedAngel if you're not already following me, but probably you are, since that's where most people come to me from. And my Facebook is also called One Grounded Angel. Thank you very much for your love, support, attention, feedback, all of it. And I will be back next week to read for you again. Take care.